Hello, everyone. Welcome. Another Sudoku solving stream. We haven't done one of these in a while, ever since we hit 500, and we're almost at 600 subs now. Yeah, I'm wondering why Sarah did change her name. I think it is Sarah. I really bad with names, even with faces, but okay, good, Sarah. I don't know why it is, but I just forget names as soon as I hear them. Hello, Dimdiet and Buggy Show and Isabella, Levin Bulls. Robert and all that. Daniel, hello, welcome. And Ambrose as well. Math Pesto, welcome. So a couple announcements, reminders, etc. before we get into the whole thing. First of all, this video, this Setter Spotlight series announcement, I think it's gotten only 232 views, so I wanted to advertise it a little bit more, just in case you haven't seen it. Because there wasn't that many nominations of setters for the second season, and I feel like people don't grasp how low the bar is for nominating or voting for this stuff. If you donate just $1, you can vote now. You can vote now because you could have nominated two people, but you can vote for one person to be interviewed in the list of people. So if you want to do that, you have until the end of this month to do that. If you donate more than $1, any amount more than $1, you get 2 votes for 2 people you'd like to see interviewed. So just making that clear right now. So hopefully more people see it. Next, the puzzle creation for beginners, the joy of puzzles. That's I wanted to vote for everyone on that list. I do too. 11 tickles. We have to pick someone though. We have to pick some group of people. I'm not gonna make the nominations public. Hello, Super Rabbit. So the joy of puzzles. So this is a Bob Ross kind of style video where it's sort of a follow along setting video, is something new that I've been trying out. And today we're gonna solve some of the puzzles that were made from that video, and they're all gonna be pure thermo. But I'll probably do another one of these at some point, and it won't be pure thermo. It'll be maybe a mix of things, which would be a little bit more interesting for a follow along, because we could probably do a lot more following along in that case. But I'd love to hear some feedback on that video. Like, did you like that video? You want to see more of that kind of stuff? I think it's an interesting idea, so it might go somewhere. But anyways, let's start with one of the thermo puzzles. So I will just put out a poll here and get which puzzle to start. And we have Luda 3's puzzle. We have a puzzle by rockratzero. We have a puzzle by superrabbit. We have a puzzle by Rex. All lovely setters. Well, this is actually Luda 3's first puzzle that he ever set. This is Rockratzero's puzzle. This is it doesn't have a author here, but this Super Rabbit's puzzle. And this is it just me who can't say Rockratzero? It's quite hard to say. It's unusually hard to say. And this is Simultaneity by the T-Rex, and uh, this was made for this video. I think, yeah, the T-Rex and Super Rabbit have quite more minimal styles than, well, more givens and less thermos than Rockrat and Luda do. And as well, I did in my puzzle. I added as many thermos as I felt like. Oh yeah, Shy did amazingly on the last stream. I think she did really well. She came up with something that was interesting, but just couldn't get it to flow in the right way, I suppose. which, you know, it's hard to get something to work out perfectly in an hour, especially a classic Sudoku, which is pretty volatile. All right, we have 11 votes, 12 people. I'll give a second for the last person to get in their vote. And then we will end the poll and we will do Luda 3s. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to Luda for setting their first puzzle. I'm so happy that I was able to inspire someone to do that. That's part of what I wanted to see when I was first making this channel, is to inspire someone to set their first puzzle. And I've got that. Got that already. All right, so we are looking for, well, maybe I'll restart the time so we get some accurate time information. But let's start Luda's puzzle, and immediately we can look at this one maybe, because that's a 5-length thermo that can't have 6 or 8 in these cells. So I guess this cell is the interesting one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess this is 4, 5, or 7. Not that interesting, I suppose. Perhaps it is this one instead? No, not quite. Or maybe we just look at where do 1s and 9s go in various rows and columns, because there are a lot of these sorts of things where it's packed into a very small area. So where does 1 go in this row? There's not that many places for it. There's 3 places. Where does 9 go in this column? 9 in this column can't go in any of these cells, because then if this was a 9, then this would have to be a 10. And none of these can be 9s, of course. So then 9 in this column is at the bottom. A little bit interesting. Yes, absolutely. You can suggest ideas. This is a solving stream where you're allowed to solve along with me. You're allowed to definitely suggest what you think is the next thing to look at. 1 in box 5. Oh, that's a great idea. So 1 in box 5 is limited to 2 cells. Oh, how did I swear there wasn't a 1 there like seconds ago. Huh. Yeah, Bremster did do a solve of this puzzle, so if you know the solve path from there, it was quite recently, so if you know the solve path from there, maybe just, yeah, a little bit silence would be appreciated. I mean, similar to the setter not saying anything. So now 1 in this row, I guess, is in 3 places still. Yeah, black digits are apparently invisible. We learned that with Simon in Jovial's puzzle, which was quite funny because it was a classic Sudoku. Okay, so 1 in this column is actually quite interesting, and it can only go into 2 places. Oh, 3 places, actually, 3 places. Okay, so the idea with the video, the Joy of Puzzles video, was first of all to place 2 thermos in the grid that were 5 length or less, that spanned a maximum of 2 boxes, that allowed you, with the addition of 1 given digit, to place 1 digit logically. So perhaps it doesn't look like these 2 thermos, though, alone would have placed the 1, because of this thermo needed help there. So is there another digit that we could have deduced before the 1? There must be. I'm warming up as well, so if I seem like I'm missing something obvious, it's because I'm getting a little bit warmed up here. I have not solved that much Sudoku recently, actually. So huh. 1 in column 3 looks restricted. Yeah, I was kind of looking at that before, wasn't I? This is not a 1. Oh, this is now not a 1, 2. Oh, so it's the same thing with 9s. That's actually really cute because the 1s are now out of those two cells, which means it has the same restriction with 9. But it can't go in that cell either, so it's down here. So this is 2 at least. Where's 2? Oh, that's a good question. That's a great question, Robert. Oh my word. Where? So we've placed the 1 in box 5, but where does the 2 go in box 5? Well, all of these cells along this entire area, they are at least 3 along their thermos. So this one is the 4th cell along its thermo, this one is the 3rd cell, this one is the 3rd cell, and these ones, of course, are longer than the 3rd cell. So none of them can be 2s, because if this was a 2, this would have to be 1 and 0, and can't put a 0 into a regular Sudoku, so none of these cells can be 2s, and now the 1 is taking that place, so this is a 2. Very nice. So now we know that this thermo now has 2 candidates per cell. And you can do that quickly by thinking about the first cell on a thermo will be 1 to, sorry, I said that wrong. The first cell on a 6-cell thermo will have 4 options, 1 to 4. And you can do that quickly by thinking about 6-cell thermo, 10 minus 6 is 4, so there'll be 4 options in the first cell. You can do that with any of them, because there's a 10 symmetry with thermos. So if you want to do that quickly, you can think about it that way. That's how I always think about it. So now 1 and 2 are over here in this box. So where does 2 go up here? I guess up there. What about... So only one other digit can go in here with the 1 and the 2, which is why there's 2 candidates in each cell. So what about 3? Because 1 and 2 are placed, and this is the 4th cell in thermo, so that can't be a 3, and neither can any of these, so those cells are not 3s, so the 3s are in one of these 2 cells. The 3s are in here, so that lines up with there, so where does the 3 go in column 5? Well, not in any of these cells, so it has to go up here somewhere. Doesn't do much. Suppose we could think about where does 8 go in this box, because it can't go in any of those cells, so I guess in one of these 3 cells. Hello, Malcolm. And hello, Jim. I'm not sure if I said hello to Jim. Eight definitely goes in one of those 3 cells. Hello, DJV Dave. Hello, Piato. Pietato? Pietato. I think it's Pietato. That makes sense. Or it's probably something more elegant that rolls off the tongue, but I'm a filthy English pedestrian who can't say fancy things. Whatever you feel like works. Thank you for being kind. All right, so what about the 2 in this box is a little bit interesting because no, I'm not English. I mean, I speak English. Well, most people speak English is my first and only language. That's what I mean. So 2s are in one of these 2 cells because they can't go along here and they can't go here now. And 6 and 8 are not 2s either. Similarly, 2s in this box could go in any of those 4 cells. Okay. I'm missing something. Where's 1 in column 1? That might be what I'm missing. Okay. So 1 is not down here. 1 is not there. 1 is not 8. 1 is not 7. 1 is not here because of the 1 over here. So one is in one of these two places. There's a reason why one cannot be in one of those two places. Maybe column 2's one is also interesting. So it can't go there. Can't go, hello, Maverick. Can't go there. Or any of those cells, actually. So 4 cells. Not quite getting that. Three in box 5 is restricted by... Oh! Thank you, 11 tickles. Again, I need to warm up, apparently. Hello, Nordy. And hello, Max Douglas. Good evening. So if I put a 3 here, well, then I'm going to have to put a 2 and a 1 here. And it seems quite upset that I'm trying to do that because there's a 2 in the row, which is 11 tickles point. Thank you. So then we get the 3 and the 1, or the 2 and the 1 here. We can place the 2 because of that 2. So what do we get from that? Well, this 1 maybe does a little bit more work here. I guess 3 places. So there's only 2 places in this box where, oh, the 3 disambiguates the 3 down here. Okay, that's much more interesting than whatever the heck I was doing before. So now this is 1, 2, 3. I like that. That seems, I wonder if that is the, because there's one part in the video where I say you should add something inconspicuous that is very small, that does a lot of things. I wonder if it was one of these thermos that did all that, because that is quite impressive for what we have so far, what we've used so far. Rather, so that can't be 8 anymore. So 8 is in one of these 2 cells, because it can't go in there, it can't go there, and it can't go in any of those cells. I'm gonna say 9 is also here, but that could be a 9. I skimmed over a little bit that this is a 1-9 pair because this won't be a 9, and then 1 and 9 were both sort of placed in this place by the box, so they must be only 1 and 9. Column 6 only has 3 empty cells. That is a good point. So these 3 empty cells are 8, 7, and 9, and 2 of them, or like 2 of them are in thermos, but one of them is not very restricted by the thermo. One of them sees a 7, so one of these is a 7. That one can't be a 9 because then this would have to be a 10. So one of these is a 7. That's interesting, because if this was a 7, that would be an 8, and that would be a 9. And that, nope, that would work. I was going to say, if this was 7, 8, 9, then this would be an, sorry, this would be a 9. So that's not even close to what I was thinking. Very flawed. But we can probably think more about 1, 2, and 3 in row 7, Jim says. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 in row 7 is quite interesting, actually. Because 3 can't go here. It might look like it could, but it can't, because then you would need a 1 down here. So 1, 2, and 3 can't go in any of those cells. They can't go here, again, because then this would be a 1 and it would clash. So 1, 2, and 3 only have 3 places in this row, which are those 3 places. Long thermo in row 6 will give us a 4, 5 pair. Are you sure this can't be a 6, Isabel? Or this one? This one can't be a 6, can it? Right, okay, this is the point. So if this was a 6 or any higher, then this would need to be between 6 and 7, 8, or 9, but it can't be 7, 8, or 9. So it can't be between those two. So this cell can't be higher than 6 and can't be 6 or higher, so it must be a 4, 5, so that's a 4, 5 pair. So now these cells are 6, 7, 8, 9, but this one is very obviously 6. So we can eliminate lots of things now. Very cute indeed. Now, this is interesting because this is getting very dangerous here. So this could be a 4 or a 3. Be 1, 3. Yeah, so there's very limited options here. Only, I think, 2 or 3 ways to fill this. That's a good point as well. We should probably pencil mark more. 7, 9, and 4, 5. 7 in box 4 is possible. Is placeable. Possible. I hope it's possible. Okay, so 7 in box 4. Well, this 7 sees down there. And so there's 2 places for 7 here. But if... Wait. That's actually very interesting because I don't see immediately how to place that because this can't be 7, 9. So that is a 7 right here. But that made me look down here and notice that there's no 7 in there. So this has to be a 7, which is going to do a lot of things to this. Because this only has 2 possibilities now, I think. And I think it's going to be resolved by this, yeah. So that is a 5 and a 6, and oh, it's not resolved. Okay, well, it's close. That's a 9. These are not 9s. That's not a 7 or a 9. So those 8 pencil marks. Row 5, column 2 breaks the pair. What pair? Oh, the 7 pair. Yes. Okay, so 9 in this row is in one of these 2 ends. Need to put 8 in box 7. Yeah, okay, 8 in box 7 is here. Yeah, right. So that will put a lot of pressure on this because now 8 goes up here, which can only go here, of course. Because if I put 8 here, we need 8.5 or something. That's a 9, which I feel like we could have gotten already. Yeah, we could have gotten that already, that being a 9, but got a different way. It's fine. That can't be an 8 because there's an 8 in the row. Thank you, Sven. That's an 8. This is a 2, 3, or 4. No worries. Maybe we should just look at row 5. Because we need 9, 6, 5, 4, and 3. Those can't be 6s. None of these can be 9s, obviously. That can't be a 6. That can't be a 3 or a 4. That can't be a 3 or 4, right? So we get a 9 here, which I was hoping we would get something like that. So this can't be a 6. That can't be a 5. Or that can't be a 3 either. That can be a 3. That can be a 3. Follow 7, 8, 9 in boxes 3, 6, and 9. 7, 8, 9. Oh, well, this is a 7. This is an 8, 9, obviously. This can't be 7, 8, or 9. So 7, 8, and 9 are up here. But we also know that 7, 8... There is so many things going on right now. This is just a 4, 5 pair. So that's a 3. That's not a 3. This is a 7, 8, 9. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not 5. Well, that is just a 5 in the box. That's a 4. That's a 5. That's a 1. That's a 4. That's a 5. No 1 there. No 1 there. Lower 1. Yep, that's definitely doable. That is an 8 and a 9. That's a 7 and an 8, and an 8, and a 7, and an 8, and a 7. Very nice point, Jim. Yeah, it's been a really fun puzzle. I can't believe this is his first time setting. This is wonderful. This looks a bit suspicious. Do we not disambiguate this yet? There's a 9 over here, so 9 in this box is in one of these 3 cells, but it can't be in either of those 2 cells, so that's a 9. So where does 7 go here? So it goes right there, because these 7s. Now 7 down here, not there, not there, not there, so that's a 7. And 6 is in this cell. C's a 6, so that's a 6. So this can be pretty much anything, I guess. Row 1, column 1, limited. Oh yes, don't forget to like the stream. Thank you for mentioning that, FB Jefferson. Okay, row 1, column 1 obviously sees this 7, 8, 9, 5, so that can be 6 at most, but it could also be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It can't be 1 because there's a 1 in the row. And it can't be a 6 because then it would this would have to be higher than 6. So it's 2, 3, or 4, which gives us a 2, 3, 4, and 1 triple, or quadruple. Saying that in the wrong order got me really confused. So that is a 6 because that's the last place for 6 in the column. The 1s here point at this 3, which is going to resolve a whole bunch of stuff. Or not. I thought that was going to do more than that. So where do we put 3 in this box? Now, I guess 3 places because 2 go in any of those. Oh no, 2 is here. So 2 can't go in any of these. 2 definitely can't go there. So since this can't be a 2, this can't be a 3. So this 3 actually does force the 3 into these 2 places, which is really not that important. Row... Oh, this, we should pencil mark this, because this can't be 7, 8, or 9, or 6, or 5. It has to be from 4 or 2. Well, I think it's probably a 4. Because this can't be lower than 2. So that's going to be a 2. And that's going to be a 3, and that's going to be a 4. So that's a 2, that's a 3. This is a 2, 3 pair now. That's not a 2, that's not a 3. This column needs a 5. This is a 1, 9 pair. That 9 gives us the order. Where does 1 go in this box? Right there. So then here we need 5 and 6, which is going to be resolved by down here. In here we need 8 and 4. We need a 4 in here. This is a 2 or 3. Isn't resolved somehow. But this... Okay, so we need 5 in here. One of these 2 cells. We need 6 in here, which is placed here. Okay, good. That's a 5. That's a 2 or 3. This 2 or 3 gives us a... What is that? 4, 9? Yeah, so that's a 9. That's a 4 because of this 4. That's now a 1, a 9, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 3, a 2, a 2, a 3, and finally we need a 2, I want to say. Yes, 2 and 5. Glad that was the right last digit. I love Philip. What is a -7 puzzle? I don't know what is a -7 puzzle. I don't know. Yeah, that was a great puzzle. Very well set, Luda. All right. Let's get another. That was a very, very good puzzle for your first puzzle. Which next? Let's go for... Yeah, let's just do one. Let's do one more of the thermal ones, and then we'll do a different type, and then we'll come back to the thermal. And super rabbit. All right, which one should we do next, guys? Yeah, certainly a lot better than some of our community's first puzzles. I mean, not to be ashamed by your first puzzle. Don't be ashamed by your first puzzle. Your first puzzle is a gem. I'll probably do a video sometime soon here about my first puzzle, which was interesting. to say the least. I think I've talked about it a little bit before, but we'll talk about it eventually, and talk about how much it is not very much a jam. All right, this is RockRatzero's puzzle. This is Super Rabbit's puzzle, and this is theaterex's puzzle. Rex being our winner of the last setting competition. rockratzero did a puzzle for 500 subs, and Super Rabbit, I don't think we've ever done a Super Rabbit puzzle on the stream before. All right, 18 votes, 24 people in the stream. 6, I'm not, YouTube is really confusing. I'll give another few seconds for the remaining 6 or 8 people to vote. But it looks like rockratzero is in the lead right now with 45%, or who knows with YouTube's rounding. Could be 46%, rounding down by 3, you know. Getting progress to 100%. All right, we have 21 votes now, so I'm gonna call it there. That's rockratzero with the 42%. Does that add to 90? That add to 98? That adds to 98, doesn't it? Dude, why? Okay, it was even worse when it was divisible by 20, so there was no rounding error. Did I vote? No, I didn't vote. No. Okay, so yeah, 2% service charge, you're right. Very large values of 98, yeah. Okay, so this is rockratzzero's puzzle. Do a little restart to get the time in. And we have thermos again. I didn't explain thermos before, but I'm just sort of assuming that most people know what thermos are. They increase from the bulb end. So like we saw in this puzzle, they go in order, essentially. And we have an M and an E and an M and an E. So I think that says meme. That's me. I'm a meme. Or as Jim points out, it's M, comma, E, comma, M, comma, E. Obviously. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So 9 in this box can't go in these 2 cells. I'm not 100% sure what is happening here. Is this is 3 cells, I guess. Both of these must be 3 cells. So there's no 9 in any of these cells, because that would mean that this would be higher than 9. So these are the only places for 9 in this box. Therefore, up here, we only have 2 places for 9. Now over here, we have something quite similar, but not quite as good, because it's not a pointing pair, or pointing triple, or whatever. Suppose in this box, the 9 is down here. Not that interesting right now. In this box, the 9 is over here. You can say similar things for 1, but there's no 1 pointing down here. 1 in box 5 is interesting. I believe it. Okay, so there's no 1 in any of those cells, so 1 in box 5 is in one of those 2 cells. So now these ones point down over here, and that can't be a 1. Oh, no, I'm good. Now, 1 in this box is also in these cells, except not in those ones. So that lines up with these, so we can ask, where does 1 go in column 5? It has to go in one of these 2 cells. In column 8, Jaleb says 1 cannot go in any of those cells. It can't go here either because of this pointing. So there are 3 places for 1 in column 8, but at the top of the column, of course. So that means that in column 9, the 1 is restricted to 4 places, and in column 7, the 1 is restricted to 3 places. So the top right half of the M is starting to look a touch restricted. Top right. Oh, of the top M. Sorry, the right half. Okay, so this half of the right M. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cell thermo. So this has the options 1 to 4, but now it can't have 1 in it. So it's 2, 3, 4, but this can't have 9 in it. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, but it can't be 6. So this can't be 4. So this is going to have 2 options. And it is actually even more restricted because there's a 5 there. So we get this. All right, so that maybe restricts 8 in this box. 8 can't go in those cells. Or there. Not that much. Digit dance. Oh, where does 8 go in column, what is it? Column 6. 8 can't go in those cells. 8 can't go here. 8 can't go here now. So now 8 is down here, but it can't also go there, so it's in one of those 2 cells. Nice. Row 5, column 4. Oh, because these can't both be 9s. That's a good point. So where were we putting 8 in this box again? We can't put it there. Can't put it here now because those would both be 9. So now 8 is in one of these 2 cells. So 8 is up here. That would have been much easier. 1 in box 7 and box 1. Okay, box 1 is obviously a lot more restricted than I had looked at before. So now there's no 1s over there, so there's a 1 down here. Now there's, oh, there can be a 1 there. I don't know what I'm saying. We should look at the other leg of the M. So this leg of the M now may be interesting because this cell can be a 9, but can't be an 8. Oh, and the 6 is interesting. The 6 is quite interesting, actually. Where does 6 go in this box? 4 places, I suppose. Those. Row 2, column 3 is a 3, 4. Right, because it can't be a 5 or a 6. Okay, so let's just mark this. Let's just, yeah. Let's just, yeah. That can't even be a 4, though. Isn't that just a 7? Yeah, that is just a 7. Because that can't be a 3, 4, it can't be a 5, 6, and it can't be as high as 8, because then we would have to go 9 and 10. So this is 7, which means this is 8, which means this is 9, which means there's no 9 here. That's a 9, and that's an 8. That's beautiful. That's really nice. So now 8 in this box is in one of those 2 cells. 9 in this box is quite restricted. It's in one of these 2 cells, which is beautiful because then it tells us where does 9 go in row 2? Right there, which places an 8 here. That's really nice too. So now 8 is in one of these 2 cells, but it can't be there because that would be a 9. That's an 8. Now we can look at these 2 cells and say, where does the 1 go in row 2? It goes right there. So then we can also say that this has to be a 2, which places the 1, which places the 1. That's really a really nice sequence of deductions. I really enjoyed that. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 9 pair in box 8. There's probably a million things we can do. Yeah, 8, 9 pair in box 8. That's a really nice spot. 9 can't go there. So where does 8 and 9 go in this row is probably my question, because 9 can't go in any of those cells. The 9 is in 2 places. Oh, and it can't go there. Oh, this is a 1, 9 pair, and it's placed. So this is a 9, and that's a 1. So that's a 9, and that's an 8. So that's a 9. Okay, that's much easier than I was doing it before. So where does 8 go in here? Well, it can't go in there. So it's in one of these 2 cells. Over here, 8 is less restricted. Please pencil mark the last cell of this. Yes, of course. That's a probably pretty good idea. So that's either a 5 or a 4, because there's a 6 looking at it. So that creates a 5, 4 pair in the row. So that's not 5 or 4. I don't want to look at this now. 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of don't want to have looked at that. Okay, so 4 and 5 pair here means that 4 does not go down here. So, oh, 2, 3 pair in box 2. Ooh, that's really cute. That actually really reminds me of what we did in Luda's puzzle. There was a cute little, I can't remember what it was. I think it was a 4 or 5 pair maybe that did something like that. That's a really nice way. That's a really nice like deduction where you get to eliminate one or 2 candidates, and then it creates a nice little pair that resolves everything. I think that's a really nice way to do thermos. We had this 3, 4, which gave us the 2 there like way earlier. I'm sure, yeah, Zach Barush, Barush. Yeah, yes, Barush had said that earlier, but we didn't quite read that. The 7, 8, 9, right? Yeah, the 7, 8, 9, or the 4, 5, 6. Yeah. There was quite a few of those actually in Luda's puzzle. The 3 goes down here. I'm not sure how useful that is. Baruch. Okay, thank you. This is kind of weird because this can't be 8 or 9, but that's a 5-cell thermo, and there's a lot of things looking down. So I'm gonna pencil mark this because I think this might be a little bit more restricted than it looks. It can't be 4, so this can't be. Oh, no, it could be 3. Sorry, the other way around. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah, that's a 2. Okay, we should just pencil mark this column, I guess. We just pencil mark the column, that would have been clearly a 2. Yeah, obviously. So that's clearly a 1, so that's not a 1, and that's a 1. That can't be a 5 now. Ah, that's right. I got rid of the 4, and I was like, yeah, it's going to affect this one, but of course it affects the next one. 2 in box 9 says Ambrose. Yeah, 2 can't go in either of these 2 cells because the 1 sees that one, and that's the 3rd cell in the thermo. So 2 is in one of these 2 cells. So 2 in this box maybe is in one of these 2 cells because it can't go there for obvious reasons. 2 in this box is in one of these 2 cells. Here we need 2, 3, and 5. I feel like someone said that at some point. Remember someone saying 2, 3, 5? Triples in column 2. Oh, Robert's got it as soon as I do. Okay, so 2 down here, though, is also interesting. Oh, wait, look at this. 3 and 4 over here. So 3 and 4 in this box are over here, which creates a triple. 3, 4, and 2. Oh my word, there's literally all the digits in this column except for 2. What a weird way to get that. Oh, Super Rabbit points out that this can't be a 2 because then that would be a 1, and we already ruled out this cell from being a 2 because that was... Okay, yeah. What about 1s? Because 1s see these cells, therefore 1 in this box is placed. It's like watching Simon solve. Okay, so this is a 5, 6, 7 triple, I suppose. So we can probably do some things to that. I mean, this can't be a 7, because then this would be lower than that. Then this needs to be 7, 8, or 9. So these are the same 2 digits. That was beautiful. Um, 3 goes over here, suppose. Row 5, column 8 is not a 2. Oh, big duh, because this would be a 1. That's a 2. So these are not 2s, which is going to place these as 2. This one and this one. Thank you to Chameleon. And Maverick also saw that. Sorry. Okay, I'm definitely not going to try to do British accent. That's not on the docket. So this is 5, 6, 7, and 4. Oh, that can't be a 5. Oh, this could be a 3. That one can't be a 3. That can't be a 7. That was a 6. This would be a 7, 8. That just would be a 7. I think is actually fine. Seven in this box is in one of these 2 cells. 7, or sorry, row 7, column 4 is the same as row 4, column 5. How we know that? Where does row 5, column 6 go in box 6? Ah, that's a good question. So where does this digit, let's color it blue, where does that go in box 6? Well, it doesn't go on its own thermo, that's for sure, because then that would imply blue is greater than blue, which it's not. So that goes right there, which means that's blue, which means it goes in one of these 2 cells. If it was 4, it could go here, but if it was 3, it would be... 3, 4 pair in row 4. Yes, yes, yes. The 3, 4 pair in row 4 is evident now. So that's not a 4, that's not a 3. So that is a 5. These are not 5, so that is a 3, which doesn't necessarily mean blue is 3, because this could be a 4, and this could still be a 3. But we now know that this is a 6, 7 pair, which means this is a 5. That's not a 5. There is a 5 in one of these 2 cells, which means that's a 5. This is 3, 4, 6, or 7. That cannot be... That could be an 8. Dang it. I was going to say that couldn't be 7 because this can't be 8 or 9, but it can be an 8. Okay, moving on. What do you know about 6s? If I haven't pencil marked enough 6s in the grid. What is going on here? can't be a 3. So where does 3 go in this box? In one of these two. So where does 3 go in this box? In one of these two cells. 5 in row 3. Row 3. 5 can't go down there, so 5 has to go over here in row 3, right? Which doesn't do anything. Okay. Bulb of the other thermo in box 0, 9. Okay, this bulb. Right, if that was a 3, this would have to be a 1, which it can't be. So that is a 3. This bulb could be... Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. But we know about 3 in row 3. 3 can't go down here, so 3 is in one of these two cells. And there's a 3 over here, so that's not a 3. So this is a 3, this is a 9, this is a 7. That's not a 9, that is a 9. Now 7 looks down here. So that means that 7 has to be on this thermo. But then... Wait, why? What? Wait a second. Is there a reason why this couldn't be a 3? I don't think there was a good reason for that. And I'm not going to assume that because that would lead to many deductions, which may be wrong. So let's not assume that's true. There's certainly a 3 in one of those two. 11 Tickles said, why can't that be a 3? And then my mind immediately went, why can't this be a 3? I don't know why I thought that. Because then he said it, sorry, I was behind. So I don't know if he was referring to that or not, but my mind immediately went, yeah, why can't that be a 3? And then I was like, wait, we don't know that. There's a 2 in one of these two cells, so this could be 1, 2, 3 still. Yeah, this probably can be a 3. I'm not sure. What's going on in this row? We need 6, 7, and 4. That can't be a 4. That can't be a 7. 3 limited because 3 on the other side. Row 8, column 7. Yeah, that definitely can't be a 3 because this can't be a 1. Yeah. So if we could just limit 3 here, can't. Is limited based on the candidates of this cell and this cell? Yeah, absolutely. So let's pencil mark this, I guess. So 3, 4, 5, I'm gonna guess. Oh, the 5 is up here. Oh, that's way more restricted than I thought. 5 goes in one of those two cells, and the 5 goes... 5, there's no way this... no, there can't be 5 there. So 5 is in one of these 3 cells, I suppose. But... 4, so this can be 6 or 4, and this can be 6 or 7, I think. That gives us a 6, 7 pair in this column, if I'm correct on these candidates, which I think I am, because the 5 can't go in any of those cells. We only have 3, 4, 6, and 7, because the 8 is over here. Yeah, that's right. So then this is... Oh, this is a 4, 6 pair. So this is a 3. Good thing I went back. Okay, good thing I went back, because that is not a 3 down here. Whew! Avoided disaster. Narrowly. Okay, so that 4, 6 means that this is a 7, 9, which is placeable. 7 and 9 go in. That is now a 9. That's a 2. This is a 5 and a 6, which I don't think we can place. That 2 is resolved. So now this cell can't be 3, but it couldn't be anyway. Awesome. That 3 gets rid of that cell. So there's a 3 in one of these two. What is the last digit in this row? 4, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 6, 7. That could still be a 7, because this could still be an 8. Finish box 3. Good idea. This is a 4 and a 6, which is resolved, first of all, and also resolves everything. Good idea, Elizabeth. Or Isabel. Elizabeth. There's not even an Elizabeth in the community, I don't think. Okay, so 4 and 6 look at this cell. 4, 6, 5, and 7 are in this box, so that's a 5 or 7. That can't be 6 or 7, so that's going to be a 4 or 5. Seriously not resolved? Just trying to like stare at it and think about it, but I don't think it is. This can be literally anything. Oh, not 6 or 7, because there's a 6, 7 pair in the column. There are so many weird triples in this puzzle. 5, 7, 8. Nothing. Okay, so this is probably what we have to look at. Four in column 3. Wow. How even did that? That's crazy. That's very nice grid control there. That's a 7, that's an 8. That is a really nice deduction. Just overall for the puzzle. Yeah, that's like this is the perfect thermo here. Yeah, I really like that. It even like sort of broadcasts this a little. Nice. Obviously. That's gonna be a 4, that's gonna be a 6. That's a 3, 6 and 7, 5, 4, 6. Yeah, it's definitely hard to spot, but this thermo really helps, I think. Yeah, that's the good good deduction to finish it. That one took a little bit longer than the other one, but there was definitely some more complicated ideas in there and hidden singles and stuff like that. But that was a very nice puzzle. I really like that ending especially. Ended up that blue didn't really matter that much, but we'll do one more and then we'll take a short break and then we'll do another few. So let's do not a thermo this time. So instead of doing a thermo, let's do, could we do, let's just put all the options in. Oh, sorry. Which puzzle next? I have a feeling which one you guys are going to vote for, but I'll put all the options in. We're doing anything but a thermo here. We have 4 puzzles other than thermo puzzles. So we have, oh, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to switch between these, but we have these 2 classic Sudokus that we have left over from the speed setting. And then switch over to that for Maverick's puzzle. So Maverick's puzzle is from the other speed setting, and it looks like quite a beast. I don't know if it will be. And then we have Tyrgannus's puzzle, which is also from the speed setting competition, but we've done most of the puzzle already with Jovial, but some of the totals have been changed. So if I can remember what was going on, we can maybe get that done faster than Maverick's puzzle, which we haven't even like looked at or understood at all. We thought it was some kind of alphabet thing when we were looking at it. But there's also these 2 classic Sudokus by Jovial and Philip Newman. Again, we're probably going to try and finish all the puzzles today, but just seeing what puzzle we should do first. So it looks like Maverick's in the lead, which is very predictable, I would say. I had a feeling you guys would want to see Maverick's puzzle. Any puzzle you don't say Bobbins is a good puzzle. I think Bobbins worthy puzzles are also good. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion. Yeah, I was channeling my inner Simon. I had to color something. Thank you, 11, for explaining that. Sorry for the loud noise there. There's a bit squeaky as well. And I'm just hitting everything right now. That add to 100? In the 100 check here. Add to 100. Okay, well, I think Maverick's probably going to win because 18 votes and he's on 56% out of 100, and everyone else is on 11 or 17. So I'm doing a J Dyer vault puzzle. Congrats, J Dyer. Hello, micro study. Whereas we just got started, we did a couple puzzles already, but we're not that far into it. Okay, I'll stop the voting now. I don't think anyone... Are we an hour in? Oh my word. Are we seriously an hour in? No way. We're an hour in. Okay. Well, we're gonna do Maverick's puzzle and hopefully not be 2 hours in by the time we finish. I'll reload the page so we get a new time. Or I guess I could have just... Oh, that didn't even reset. Would be what we should have done. And we will try and solve this. So this is a mean mini, so we have to place the digits 1 to 9 in each empty cell so that each digit appears exactly once in each row, column, and 2 by 3 box. Exactly 6 digits must be used in each of the areas. So gray, green, black, red, and blue all have different sets of digits. And exactly, yeah. So the little killers from, I suppose, this black box, yeah, I guess all over here, the little killers show the sum of the digits in the corresponding direction till it hits an edge. So the little killer of 48, so this one, sums all of these digits. Yes. So that's an interesting one. In the gray box, so this one up here, some of the digits along the path of the arrow must equal the digit in the circled cell. Standard arrow rules. The green box has killer Sudoku, so in the paged cells, we need to sum to that total in the upper left cell without repetition, or it doesn't really matter because they're not in the right shape for that anyway. In the red box, we have thermometers, just like from before. And in the blue box, we have sum detectors. So an arrow in a cell indicates that the sum of the first n digits in that in contiguous cells along the direction pointed by the equal in the arrow equals the digit in the cell for some value of n. For some value of n. So it's not like n sums within the grid. It would be like if this was 4, oh, I do not want to draw on the edge. If this was 4 and then we had 3 and 1 here, that would be a valid fill because in some amount of cells, we had sum to 4. So it's just saying that in this direction, there is some amount of cells that sum to that number. And finally, in the boxes given for digits, please place the digits in ascending order. So in these boxes on the sides, I suppose for the answer check, we should place them in ascending order. So from the lowest to the highest. All right, let's get started. We should probably look at the killer cages first because this 4 cage can only be a 1-3. It can't be double 2. That's probably not going to work. This 15 cage, either 7, 8, or 6, 9. This is either going to be 1, 8 or 3, 6. Oh, no, wait. We could have a 1, 3 here. What am I talking about? You definitely have a 1, 3 there. It's either 1, 8 or 3, 6 or something else. There we go. That is correct now. We do need a 1 or a 3 in the 11 cage. So if we had 1 and 3 in the 11 cage, we need a 7 along with it. That's not that interesting. It's very interesting, this 48 sums all of these cells, and this 102 sums all of these cells. But 48 and 102, those are a little bit different. 14. One of the digits in the 14, yes, one of the digits in the 14 definitely goes in the 9 cage by roping. But we don't know if the 14 is 5, 9 or 6, 8 yet. If it was 5, 9, the 9 would be, so 6, 8 is the big problem, because if it was 6, 8, that opens up a world of possibilities for the 1, 3. What is that, Isabella? The 102 has 3 degrees of freedom, so all the cells are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh boy. Okay, so Isabella says that if we max this out, I really hope this is not the first intended step. If we absolutely maximize this diagonal, get out my calculator. 9 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9. Okay, yeah, there's 3 degrees of freedom. The sum of those ridiculously number of digits is 105. So we can only change one of those 8s to a... If we changed 1 8 to a 5, that would allow it to work. So actually, Isabel, I'm pretty sure that it's the digits 5, 5 to 9 instead of 6 to 9. You can pencil mark just the green grid first. But we could do the same with the 48, do you think? All right. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay, so that is probably not even close to 48, to be honest. Now that's 15. That's 15. Oh, no 1 in a 14 cage. That's a good point. So that would be plus 4. So still not good. Okay. Not quite. 15, 48. There's a little bit of difference there. There's a little bit of leeway. This 4, though, this 4 diagonal, I just noticed is 1, 3. 19 is very close to 48, yes. 13 in box 1, or 1, 3 in box 1, Oh, now it has to be in the, yeah, in the 11 cage. So this is 137. Good point, good point. Unless you use the YouTube rounding algorithm. uh, row 5, column 6. Row 6, column 5, okay. Row 6, column 5 is limited by the cage and the little killer. The little killer hits that? Oh, the 7, duh. Okay, so this can be 5, 6, 8, or 9, but it can't be 8 or 9 because of the 7 diagonal, right? So this is a 1, 2, 5, 6. And I guess we can pencil mark this 14 as a 5, 6, 8, 9. And this 14 as 5, 6, 8, 9. Just for fun. These 3 cells sum to 7, but they could repeat. Remove 5s from the row 1, column 3, and row 2, column 4, because it takes too many. Oh, okay, yes. Isabella has a good point. We can remove 5s from all the cells that must have been 9 in that exposition. So all of those cells cannot be 5s because the 5 is only when we change 8 to 5. We could change 9 to 6, though, so we can't eliminate 6. Interestingly, we need to have a 7 in this grid. Is it possible that there is no 9 in these cells, in the green grid? In these 4 cells, is it possible that there's no 9? So if we did double 8, that would take 2 degrees of freedom. Plus 8 and 7 would take another 2 degrees of freedom. So that would be 4 degrees of freedom lost. So in fact, we must have a 9 in these 4 cells in the green grid. Therefore, there must be a 9 in this grid. So we can put 9 into here. We haven't been using this, but put 3 in as well. I don't know if there's a 2, but I'm just gonna put 3 in. There's definitely a 7. I don't know if there's an 8. Can we miss out an 8? Well, obviously we can miss out an 8. That's true. If there's no 9, then the 15 is 7, 8, and that's really broken. So, no, there's a 7 and a 9. I guess we can mark this as 6, 7, 8, 9, because we know that now that there's 3 of 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know this is this has to be either a 6 or an 8. There has to be a 6 or an 8 in the grid. So if it is this plus a 5, that's it. That's it. If there is a 5, if this 14 contains a 5. Oh no, that's only if the 14 contains a 5. No, that still works for this though. So if this cell right here, row 6, column 5, is a 5, then the last digit that we have here is a 5. But then we need to put a 2 here. But that is in the green grid. So then we would need another digit. And there's no other digit that we can have for a 2. We've already got our 6 digits. So this cell right here specifically cannot be a 5. It has to be a 6. I was going to put 1 there, but that's now not a 1. That's an 8. This is a 1. So you can get that. That's not an 8. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. That's not a 6 either. That's not a 6 either, so that's not an 8. Now 1 by Sudoku in the black box. 1 by Sudoku in the black box goes right here. Yes, we got all the digits because we know that it's 8, 7, 6, right? So, and the 1, oh, yeah, the 1 is in this row. So there can't be a 1 in this 9 gauge. So this has to be 3, 6. There's no other way of making 9. It has to be a 3, 6. And there's a 1 in one of these two cells. There's an 8 right here. So this is 7, 1 and 9. That's not a 1. Up here we need a 6 and a 7 or 9. There's no 7, of course, because there's a 7 in here. So that is going to be a 9. This is going to be an 8. That is not an 8. Oh, this is one of our degrees of freedom. That's one of our degrees of freedom. So we can't take 3 degrees of freedom with the 6 anymore. So we can rule out 6 from all these cells. Wait, what? Oh, that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. Okay. That's just a 7. I just misclicked. That's not a big deal. This is still a 6, 9. And we still get an 8 here. And we can still rule out 6 from here. I literally just misclicked with the 9. All of the stuff I said was true, but I just put the wrong digit here. This is a 3 and something. Oh, sorry. This is a 3. I'm getting confused. Can they have 5? No, they cannot have 5. There's no more 5s available because we've already taken 1 degree of freedom. Right. This digit is the same as this digit because of our sum detectors. These have to be the same digit because this one has to sum to something and it has to point there. Oh, this digit points over here, so these two are the sum of this digit, which means that this one is necessarily less than this one. So those cannot be 9s, interestingly. 3 in the top right of black. This can't be a 3 because that would need triple 1, and those definitely cannot both be 1. So that is a 3. At 6 sees this, so that's a 5, and that's a 9, not an 8. Another 11. Oh, another 11. Sorry, another 11K has 1 and 3 in it, so that's 1, 3, 7. So there's no 7s in here. This is a 6, 8, 9. So now if this was a 6, 9, then there would be nowhere to put 6 in this box. So this can't be a 6, 9. This must be a 7, 8, which gives us a 9 here. 9 and 6 here. This 6 gives us a 6 here. This 8, of course, resolves the 7 and the 8. That's not a 7. This is a 1, 3 pair, so that is a 7. Those are not 7s. This should be a 7. That should be a 9. And that sees the 9, but not the 7. That sees the 9 as well. Row 5, column 5 in black is interesting. I looked at that. That is interesting because it has to have at least these two cells. Therefore, this cell cannot be a 9. And this cell cannot be a 3 because that would mean that this is too high. So that must be a 1. That must be a 3. This must be either 8 or 9. And this not being 9 means we've reduced our degrees of freedom again. So we have 2 degrees of freedom done. So we can only reduce our degrees of freedom by 1 more. So these two cells cannot be 6. That cell cannot be 6. Wait, this is not a 9 either. So that's all of our degrees of freedom. We can't make this a 7 because we've already used all of our degrees of freedom now. So this is an 8, 9. This must be an 8. This must be a 9. This must be an 8, 9. That's going to be the 8. That's going to be the 9. This is an 8. That's a 1. Very beautiful. Is there a much easier way to get this 1? I don't know. Anyways. So this has to be a 9, because if this points at the 9 and also this cell, then that would be 10 or something. One look down. Oh my word, there's a 1 right there. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even see it after it was pointed out to me. Oh, there's a 5 and a 6 in this grid. So we know that the black grid has 5, 6, 1, 3, 8, 9. So that is a 5. That's not a 5. That's a 5, 6. That's going to be an 8, a 9, and an 8, and a 9. Of course, that's a 9, duh. Uh, 3 in this box goes there. I'm very close to figuring out more here, but I can't quite put my finger on how. This is a 5, 6, and 3, so that's not a 3, so that's a 3. That's going to be a 3. This is an 8 and a 1, but that 8 tells us the order. 1 and 8 go in. So there's no 8 there, so that's an 8. A 5, or sorry, 6 and a 1, so that 1 tells us that that's a 6, or we could just do it in the row. That would also be an option. The 5, 6 pair, which we don't know. This is 5, 6, and 1, which we got. This 1 tells us that that's a 1. Not quite we got it, but we got something. Now this is 5, 6, and 9. The 9 tells us the order, that's a 9, which tells us that this is a 5. A 5, please. Ask for 5. That's a 5, that's a 6. I hope I put those all in right. That's a 6, and that's an 8. Beautiful puzzle, by the way. 23 diagonal. Oh, yeah, I didn't use that. Okay, it's whatever. Yeah, yeah. Generous clues in the middle. Yeah, not much of this was required, actually. Still interesting, though. Yeah, I like it too. Oh, somehow I got rid of 6 here. Oh, because of the diagonal. So this is a 6. That 8 tells us this is a 9. That's an 8. That's an 8. 17 little killer here. So those two cells have to add 9. And we know that this is... We have 5, 6, 8, and 9 in here. So if this was a 5 or 8, this would have to be a 1 or 4. But there's the possibility that these two could also sum to 9. Or this... No, it can't be 9 divided by 2. I don't think the last digit in here is 4.5. I think. I don't think so. It could be. Does he say digits? I can put these in ascending order. Row 4 in this grid, yes, of course, that's very restricted. That's 9 and 7. Not quite restricted enough, but that's not row 4. That's row 3. This is a 6. That's a 6, and that's a 3. Surely we can resolve this. Or do we need the 48 diagonal or the 79 or 78 diagonal? Probably. The remaining digits on the 48 sum to 20. I think. Jim says. Okay, so let's look at this diagonal. So far we have a 3, an 8, an 8, 1, an 8, a 3, a 5. So that sums to 36, not including that 1, 3. So 48 minus 36 is 12. So this digit and these cells have to sum to 12. That's not that hard. So in this box, we only have one more digit that we can use. Wait, wrong diagonal? Oh, you're right. It's this one. It's this one. And that. Thank you. That is very different, actually, because that's not actually that different. Let's try and fill in some of this. So we know that there's a 1 in this grid. We know that there's a 3. We know that there's a 6. We know that there's an 8 and a 9. This digit could be lots of things. In this grid, we know that we have a 1, we have an 8, and we have a 5 and a 6. These two cells sum to 8, but they don't include 1. Bottom clones in the blue grid are useful. So if this one was summing these two cells, that doesn't work, because if this one sums these two cells, right, then this one automatically sums more than itself in the first cell. So that can't work. So these two cells have to be clones. So they have to be equal to each other. The same can be said of these two. I think we figured this out with Jovial before. But now this cell has to sum these two cells and maybe that cell as well. We could get the coloring in here, yeah. So if we do a bit of coloring, that's either 3 or 9. And I don't think 9 is possible. So if that was double 9, that would already be 18. And 18 is a lot more than 12. And we know we need 12 from these cells and this. So these have to be 3s. It would also repeat 9 in the box. Apparently I'm Simon today. Hello, welcome to Cracking the Crypt. Oh my word, okay, yeah. So there's a 9 down here, and there's a 9 down here, there's an 8 down. Are we back? For some reason OBS crashed first. Hello? Did we freeze? Okay. I don't know what it's doing. Okay, so these are either 1, 2, or 4. Oh, they could be 5 as well. Sorry. 1, 2, 4, or 5. That's gonna do things with 8, I think, because now these two cells, which see 8s, not be 8s. Oh, that couldn't be an 8 anyway, so that's actually just an 8 regardless. Now this is an 8-9 pair. So this is a 6 now, because this sees that cell. So this is a 1. Oh no, that sees 1. And this is a 1. This is the mystery digit, of course. Duh. Big duh. Now these cells see 1, that cell sees 1, so that's a 1. That's not a 1. Oh, right. These 3 cells had to sum to 6, not just those 2 cells, so that can't be a 5. If that is a 4, these could be double 1. Yeah, 1, 1, 4 would work. Or 2, 1, 3 would work. So whether this is a 2 or a 4, it is the missing digit, so that has to be 2, 4. doesn't have to be 4, I don't think. It could be 2. If this was a 3, that could be a 2. You need another 4? Which 8? Oh, this 8. This 8. Yeah, if we did double 2 here, then you'd need to put 4 here because of this 8. Right, so this has to be 4. I was thinking about it for a completely different reason. Sorry. So then this is a 4. Means that this is a 1. That's a 3. That's a 3. That's a 1. That still doesn't resolve all this. That has to be resolved with the 78, I suppose, which we'll have to add up in just a second here. That 8 resolves. This is a 9. This is an 8. That's a 9. This 9 sees a 6, which means that either these 2 cells or these 3 cells have to sum to 3, which is not going to work, but either these 2 cells sum to 3, which is not going to work because that's be a 2, so this has to be a 3, which is probably already placed for some or other reason. This is a 6. This is 3 and 4, but if that was a 3, that would be 4 already, so that is a 4, and that's a 3. That's going to be a 3. That's a 1. This is a 6. That's a 6. What's this? A 4. That's a 1. 4 and 6. We're done the blue. That's 4 and 6. Okay, now we do the 78. Okay. All right. 9, 9, D, 9. I totally just messed up. 1, 9, 9, 9, 3. Okay, I have 75 right now, which is too much. All right, let's go with caravans. Yeah, there's a calculator. I think I added an extra 9 in. It was confusing me that there were so many 9s. And I couldn't count them right. Sorry. Okay, so we need another 12, says chat. So this is obviously going to be a 9 and a... That's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 7, that is a 9, and that's a 1. Yeah, I probably added an extra. Yeah, that would be nice if there was a little killer solver. Be a little bit cheeky, but oh, no worries, Sarah. You're back and we're solving this Goliath of a puzzle. Just pick the only combination that resolved it by uniqueness. Yeah, true. Okay, so we have 5 in 3 cells. So can we do that with just 1s and 3s? Yes, we can with 3 double 1. But we can't do 3 double 1. Oh, yes, we can. 3 double 1 like that. I was thinking the 1 would have to be in here. Why 1? Why 3? Well, there obviously has to be 1 in one of these two, right? But that can't be a 1. So surely this has to be a 1. If that's a 2, this has to be at least 3, and that would already be 5, so that has to be a 1. But we could do double 2 here. So these are either 1, 2, or 3, but that can't be a 1. That can't be a 3. Now, surely this is going to be 5 or 6, because if this is the 2 or 3 that's up here, then this would have to be 5 or 6. Or sorry, yeah, 5 or 6, yeah. So this has to be 5 or 6. This is going to be 2 or 3. And then we know what the digits are. It's going to be 2, 3, 5, and 6. This 8 can't go here because there's no digit greater than 8. So that 8 has to go in the circle. It looks like micro study says that as well. This has to be that 2 or 3. So we're going to need this 5 or 6 here. Oh, 5 or 6, sorry. We can color this one, and we can color this one and this one. So down here we need a 5, 6, and a 2, 3. Oh, the third, I didn't even see those little killers in here. The 30 little killer looks restricted, so holy crap, what is this? So that is at least 6, plus another digit will have to be 8. Because 8 is the largest digit in this grid right now. So if this is the 6, then that will be a 2. But if this is a... If this is anything other than 6, it's broken because you can't even do 7. So this is 6 and this is 2. That's going to be a 1. That's not a 2, so that's a 2, so that's a 3. Now, that doesn't do anything. Okay, cool. These 4 digits now, I think someone said that that's going to be exactly 30. 8 plus 8 plus 6 is what they said. Yeah, that is 30, and that is the maximum that we can put in those cells. So that is what it has to be. So this being a 6 means this is a 2. Means this is a 3 and this is a 1. Now 1 in this box is suddenly placed here. 3 in this box is in one of these 2 cells. That can't be a 3 because then this would have to add, this would have to be 1 and 2, and it can't be a 1, 2 when there's 1 in the box. So that's a 3. That's going to be a 2 because of these 2 2s. This 6 is pushing a 6 over here, but we can't put a 6 there because then that would be a 7, and there's no 7 in this grid at all. 7's not a real number in this grid right now. How do I keep making that horrible joke? This is a 5 and a 3. This is a 1 and a 6, and we know the order, of course. It's 7, 8, 9, right? A 5 and a 2, and we know the order. This is a 3. Did I anything wrong? No, this is a 3, 5, and that's a deadly pattern. If not for this 76. How long am I streaming for? I was gonna stream until we finished all these puzzles, but we'll see, because it's been a little longer than I was hoping for. But we'll have to see. So let's look at this 44, I guess. So we have... Maybe you guys can add it up, because apparently I can't add up numbers on a calculator, let alone in my head. That's 28, so 44 minus 28 is 16 in these 4 cells. Let's just write that down here as 16. And then these 2 cells sum to 9. Okay, I also got 28. Perfect. Red row 1, column 4 probably has to be... Yeah, I think... I was thinking that as well, 1 or 4, Jim. Because this would probably have to be 5 or 8, but I think this digit could be there. If this digit is not that digit, then this is 1, 4, 5, 8. but don't know if we know that these two digits can't sum 9. Let's take a peek at this 78, just really quickly. I don't think it's going to be forced, but just in case. So 1, 5, 5, 5, 1, 6, 6, 6, mark of the beast. 43 is what I get. 76 minus 43 is going to be a 33. Okay, so I'm going to write that down here. 30, I can't even write it. 33. 43. Oh, yeah, that's what I got. 33 in the other cells. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 5 cells to make 33. That is not a lot of cells. Let's see here. 8 and 9, 8 and 9. And then a 5 would be 39. So we're 6 degrees of freedom off. So that's... Oh, sorry. No, we're not. I messed up there. We're even more. 40. 40 would be the number. So we're 7 degrees of freedom off. So yeah, we're quite far off. Let's actually think about if these two cells sum to 9, they're not 4, 5, they're not 1, 8, they're not 3, 6. So they would have to be 2, 7. So either this is a 2, 7, or this is a 1, 4, 5, 8. But this can't be a 2, so it would have to go this way. 9 in column 5. That's a good point. 9 can't go at the top, 9 can't go there, 9 can't go there, 9 can't go there. So 9 is placed here. Very valid point. So that actually reduced our count to 39 instead of 40. But yeah, that's not really that encouraging. 9 in column 4, though, is going to be placed down here at the bottom, of course. And then 9 in column 2, apparently also going to be placed into this cell. So what about 9 in this box? Well, that has 2 places. What about 9 in this box? Well, that has 2 places. Okay. Well, I missed out on all the opportunities to actually get the 9s. There's an 8 up here, though. Kind of interesting. 8 in box 6. Yeah, that should be interesting. That can't be an 8. That can't be an 8. So 8 is placed here in box 6. So in box that, it's in one of those 2 cells. Up here, it's actually going to be placed in that cell. Now, we can't put an 8 there. We can put an 8 in here. So in one of those cells over here, 8 in one of those 2 cells. That 8 looks up column 6. Oh, yes, that 8 looks up column 6, putting an 8 from there. So that can't be a 1 anymore. Interesting, interesting. Now, the really annoying thing is that this could still be 2, 7, because this can be 8, 9. I was really hoping that would rule out that possibility, but I think it's still alive. So annoying. That almost seems likely at this point. In here we need a 6 and either a 2 or a 4. If there is a 2 here, place 8 in box 4. Can we? Is it little? I don't think the little killer should do that. Oh, unless these need to be minimized. Row 3? No, 8 can definitely go there. Why can't 8 go here? Although we were kind of high with this estimate. So let's look at the opposite way. Sometimes with little killers, you want to look at the opposite if you're way too high. So let's look at this. So right now we have the 9 there. And we have 3 at least from up there. So if we were to do double 8 there, then we would already be at 28 of our 33, which is fine. Which is fine. What's the 16 to the left of row 5? That means that these 4 cells sum to 16. I'm just noting it just so I can remember it. Not, oh, positive row 9 breaks that diagonal? What do you mean? Nine needs 7, but 1 can't be placed in the grid? Why would I need to put 1 in? If I put 7 here, this would be a 2. These two need to sum to 9, not 8, right? Are you saying if I put the 2 in, then I had to put the 2 other diagonal? This diagonal? 16? Okay, if the 16... Okay, the 16 we were just talking about. Thank you. Okay. So if I were to put 9 here, you're saying that would break the diagonal. Because then these would sum to 7, which would need a 1, you're saying. But there is no 1 in the grid. So yeah, we can't do 7. Could we do a 3 though? Yeah, 2, 2, 2, 3. I think we could do. Why can't it be 2, 2, 3? Micro study. Do you see something? Because I think this. Oh, 2 would add. Right. Okay. If we used a 2 here, then this has to be a 7. So it can't be a 3. You're right. So we can't do 2, 2, 3. So this cannot be a 9. Oh, okay. That is nasty. Yeah. That is vicious. Yeah. Does that do anything though? Now 8 is now in one of these two. 8 is now locked into row 3. So that's not an 8, so this is an 8. I was so excited about that, but what does that even do? Now, if 8 is on the diagonal, we need 8 in here. Can we get the 8 if we put the 4 in row 1, column 4? Then these would have to add the 4. And this one can't be low enough, I don't think. Yeah, that's it. This can't be 8, I don't think. Because if that's an... Or sorry, wait, no. No, that was saying if this is 8, this can't be 4. Because then these would have to add to 4, and this one would be way too high. But if this wasn't 4, if this was a 2, these would add to 6. I think is a lot easier, right? Well, not that much easier because this would be a 7. So the minimum that this would be a 6 because 6, 5, 2 is the lowest we can get with these numbers. So actually, we can't do that. I don't think this can be a 8 because whether this is 2 or 4, this digit is just too high. Let's pencil mark this. This might be easier if we pencil mark this cell. This cell can be 7, 6, 5. Can it ever be a 4? I don't think it can be a 4 because then we would need 2 digits below 4, but we only have 1 digit below 4 at most. So I think it's 5, 6, or 7. So 5 plus 8 is already 13, which would mean that these had to add to 3, and we can't have a 1 in the grid. So this cannot be an 8 because that's 5, 6, or 7. That's a really nice way to put it. We've got the 8s. Again, does this do anything? Oh, we have 2 9s on here now. So let's revisit our sum here. We have those 2 9s. We don't have an 8. So the best we could get would be 5 and 7 and 7. So we, in these 3 cells, we need some amount. We need 33 minus 18. We need 15 in these 3 cells, and the maximum we can get is 7 minus 8 is 19. So we're 4 degrees of freedom off. That's not very helpful. So maybe these 3, this again, this thing again. So what does this mean? Wait. This cell is at least this cell, right? This cell is this cell. So this cell has to be bigger than 5 at least. So that is a 7. That is a 7. 7. Urban has the same point. That's no. That's so whack. That is weird. Okay, not T, it's 7. So 7, 6, 5, and this is either 2 or 4. Do we know whether it's 2 or 4? Is it for sure 2? Because can it still be 4 and 5? I want to say it's 2, but I think it could still be 4 and 5. The 3 cell thermo in box 4 tells you. Box 4. Right. So there's 8 and 9 in here. So 7, where does 7 go in this box? It can't go in here because there's no digit greater than 7 available. So that has to be a 7. Which means that this is a 2. Means that now we have 14 here instead of 16. 14 in these 3 cells. 2, 5, and 6 go down here. This can't be a 2. Can't be a 6. 7 in row 4 is in one of these 2 cells, but it can't be here, right? Okay, so that's a 7. Now we need 7 in these 2 cells. That can't be a 6 because then that would be too high. So that is a 6 here. This is a 2 or 5. And these sum to 7. this is the same digit, which goes down here with a 6. This is obviously a 7. That's a 7. That can't be a 6 anymore, so we have the 6 in that column. That's the 6 in that box. That's the 6 in that box. That's the 6 in that box. Another 2, 5, another 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. But this 2 resolves it. That's a 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. And now for the final 78. What did this have to sum to? This had to sum to, have it here, 15. So this is triple 5, triple 5, baby. Triple 5 to finish it. Oh my word. Okay, so we have yet to delete our notes, and we have yet to fill in this too. Yay! Woohoo! Oh, wow, that is a crazy puzzle. If you had set that in the hour, Maverick, would have just all quit setting Sudoku. That would have just been it. That would have been the end. That was insane. That was a very, very nice puzzle. I can't believe you said that in 75 minutes. That's crazy. That took 40 or 54 minutes and 21 seconds to solve. Oh, you can see it. End of Sudoku, yeah. He almost pulled it off. Yeah, he had a good thing going. I need to rewatch that bit of the stream. See like what he was doing now that we know what's going on. Yeah, at 4 a.m. too. He was setting at 4 a.m. I wonder if he wasn't setting at 4 a.m. if it had gone better. That's what he tried to do in the speed setting, yeah. Can't imagine setting that in a month. Yeah. That is pretty crazy. Anyways, I think I will go to break and I will return in I don't know, about 5-10 minutes, and then we will continue with a few more puzzles. I don't know if we will finish all of the puzzles that I have on docket today, but I will at least try to. Is that bobbins worthy? Sure, bobbins. Bobbins to that puzzle. bobbins bobbins to Maverick for messing that up. He should have definitely gotten that to work in the setting. That would have been epic. Yes, a cat break. I will return with a cat. I promise. Hello, welcome back. I have rank. Should have done the poll before I wrangled him. May take a minute. Appreciate the cat while I am not wrangling. Wrangled has been done. I am typing. Finish off those tools from the Bob Ross setting. We just had a wonderful Maverick. This is Super Rabbit's puzzle, and this is the T-Rex 15's puzzle. Here, look at love you. Look. Hear him purring. Very happy. No, he would not rip off my face. He's one, this cat, Clark, he's to be held. He wants to be held. Quite funny. The other one does not want. Loves to be. Okay, we have 10 votes out of 14 people. The other cat is called Benny. Clark. Yeah, they get along. Never see them at the same time. Yeah, maybe I'll send a video in the server or something of them at the same time. Okay, we will go ahead and try to do. Sorry, the browning always baffles me. We'll go ahead and do the super rabbit. This is a super mammal, and we're going to be doing a super rabbit puzzle. Kitty. Fly away. Okay. He might be back, but I put him back to his napping spot, like napping before. Sorry, it might have been the cat interference. Yeah, sorry about that. It was probably the noise gate. Is it cutting out still though? Let me know if it's still cutting out. Okay, good. We will do the super rabbit puzzle. Yeah, he was right between me and the mic, so that's probably what it was. Anyways, we'll do the super rabbit puzzle. So let's get right into it. Very minimal. We have some digits in row 1 and a lot of symmetric clues here. Well, not a lot of symmetric clues. A few symmetric clues. Okay, so you can immediately say that 1 in this box is in one of these 3 cells. So then 1 in this box is in one of these 2 cells. So 1 is down here. 2 in this box is kind of interesting. 9 in this, kind of interesting. Oh, 2 in this box is also limited to these 3 cells, but not quite as limited as in this box. Oh, 2 can even go there in this box. In this box, though, 2 is in here. First rat was named Atui long before the film. That's really funny. I guess we could maybe look at the outies here. One second, 11 tickles. I'm just gonna fill in what the outies, the digits not given are, in case that spurs anything. But I'll look at your point. So in box 4, 2 is only one row in box 4. Yeah, 2 is in one row. We already have that. Bulb in row 5, column 3 cannot be 1 or 2. Box 4. Yeah. So this cannot be 1 or 2. So this is 3, 4, or 5. He said, sorry. Sorry about that. This is a little bit limited, but not limited in the exact right way. Yeah, it's not quite good enough to do anything interesting. Oh, but the one in, right, the 2 here puts the 2 up here. Big duh. So then 2 can't go here or there, so 2 is in one of those 2 cells. And 3 in this row is in one of these 3 cells. Yeah, this could be roped. It's close to being roped. Interestingly, 8 can't go in these cells because of the 8 up here. So in this column, 9 is pretty restricted. It can only go in these 2 cells. That doesn't really... I'm skeptical whether this could be a 1 or 2. Because it feels like that would put a lot of pressure on these thermometers. Since these can't be 8s, these can't be 7s. These can't be 6s. So all these digits have to be... All these digits have to be... Right? They can't be greater than... They can't be 6. Because if this was a 6, this would be 7, 8, 9, but it can't be 8. So I'm not quite good loving yet, but this looks fairly promising, I would say. Yeah, of course the bulbs can't be 5 and these can't be 1s. But yeah, it seems like it's almost a quintuple, but not right there. Hmm. If there was a 3 in here, then there would be a 3 up here. Wait. That's also true of 9. So if there is a 3 or a 9 in here, then these rows are roped. There is a 3 or a 9. Because 3 and 9 do not appear down here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 3 or a 9 in there. If these were roped, then these digits would be up here, be over here. And they would have to be in that exact order. Doesn't really bring any bells of like, yes, this must be this way, if that was the case. Huh. Weird. Weird puzzle. Very interesting. This digit in this box has to go in one of these 3 cells. See ya, Daniel. Where does row 4, column 4 go in box 2? That's a good question. Thanks for coming out, Daniel. Doesn't go in those 3 cells because it can't be 8 and it can't be on its own thermo. Doesn't go in those 3 cells, so it goes in one of these 3. That digit goes in one of those 3 cells, so it goes down here. Guess we can. Is it possible that this digit is that digit or that digit? Yeah, obviously. That digit has the unfortunate characteristic that it could be an 8. So we can't say that this digit goes over there and therefore in here. But in fact, if this digit did go over here, then the only place that it could go in here could be here if it was 5. Hold on, wait. No. No, that's not that's not right. That's not interesting. I was thinking if these digits did go up here, then this digit would go down here. And then there's already quite a few high digits that would be up here, so it would be difficult to fit such a low digit on here. Wherever it goes, I guess. But I guess it could, yeah, I guess it could. Even if it was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yeah, fine. So we do instead. Maybe we do the low thermocells in column 5 for their placement in box 5. Huh, that's an interesting point. So Lighter says, where did these 2 digits, go in box 5? Well, they can't go in their own thermo, so they go in 2 of these 4 cells. So let's just mark that for just a second. And these 2 digits go in. I'm gonna get rid of blue for just a second. In these 2 cells. But we can't avoid putting both red and pink off the thermos. We can't avoid putting them all off the thermos because if we tried to do that, then Uh, you could do 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, couldn't you, Jim? This would have to be a 3. This could be a 1, 2. 1, 2, 9, 6, 7, 8. Like that. Although other row 3, that it, oh, row 3, yeah. Thank you. I think Jim did mean here, but this is row 3, column 6. Oh, speaking of which, I guess I could turn on row column labels. Does that even show up? Not really. It's okay, he did say that. What I was thinking about was one of these colored cells on the thermo has to be on the thermo because we can't put these 4 digits into these 2 digits. But we can't put 2 digits into here from here because we just established that if we put one of these digits, any one of them, onto the end of the thermo, it has to be the 5. You can't do 4 onto here because that runs out of digits. So if we put a digit onto the end, it has to be a 5. So only one of these two can ever be in. So we really only have 5 places to put these 4 digits. Only have 5 places to put the 4 digits. And if one of these is a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then the 1, 2 automatically goes here. What if we tried to not put anything on the end? I'm not sure about that rockratzero because if we try not to put the 5 on the end, let's think about that. Then these 4 cells would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These obviously can't be 1, 2s. So what does that mean? That means that one of these ends would have to be 8 then. Then one of these cells would have to be 6 or 7. Or I guess could be lower. This one means that one of the purples is bigger than both reds, and the reverse. Right, okay. Right, so we can't put 5s in here in this case, right? Wait, if we can't put 5s in here, right? Because you can't put a 5. Yeah, so then wait a second, this is whack. Because now these can't be 5s, and these can't be 5s. So we would have a quadruple. Then these can't be 4s. These can't be 3s. But now we can't put 4s in. And that's completely broken, like Isabella says. Right, so if you don't put a 5 on the end, then it's screwed. It doesn't work. That is weird. Because, yeah, because these would have to be bigger than these. Wow, that is really weird. I wonder if there's a really nice way to figure that out. I'm really trying to rack my brain to think about what would be the nice way to figure that out. Well, if we put one red in... Right. If we put one red on here, then we can't put purple on the red, because then it would be higher. Duh. Thank you. Okay. Yes. We can't do both, right? So one of these has to be a 5. Importantly, one of these has to be a 4, which means none of these can be 4, which means we have a quadruple. Wow, that's really something. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so one of these is a 1, 2, and this is a 1, 2. And no, I was gonna say one of these. Yeah, one of these has to be an 8 because we can no longer put 8 in the middle. So one of these does have to be an 8. So it's a 5 and an 8. So where does 9 go in the box? It goes there, and we have our roping. This is wild. This is a wild puzzle. Okay, so we have our roping. You laugh. This is a funny puzzle. 5. Right, these are the same digit because these are all in order. 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6. So these have to be the 8s. Which means that this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, this is a 5, this is a 6, this is a 7. Not 5, this is not 4 or 5. That's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 9. That's not a 9, so that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 9. Awesome. That is a crazy puzzle. I feel like this could even be, I don't say this very often, but I think this could even be submitted to CTC. I think they would actually really like this one. I think Simon would really like that break-in. That's not something I say very often, by the way. So, good job, Super Rabbit. Last digit in column 5, absolutely. So that's a 6. Well, I haven't seen the end of the puzzle yet, but it is something that strikes me as like, that's very unique. I haven't seen something quite like that before. Well, I think I have seen something maybe quite like that before, but not in the same way. It's cool. Good puzzle. So there's a 6 in one of these cells. Yeah, if it falls apart, that's a nice one stepper, I guess. Not sure it falls apart though. One in here is sort of restricted. One in box 7 is probably more restricted. Yeah, it's placed. Place is the one up here, which means that can't be a 2. So there's 2s over here, which gets rid of a 2 here. Placing a 2, placing a 9, placing a 1. No 1 there. but also 1 is placed in this box right there. So there is a 1 in one of these two cells. Seven's down here, I suppose. 1 in box. Okay. It's funny when people redact their things, I'm like, am I missing something? Oh, 9. 9 in box 9. That's a very good spot, Isabella. 9 is placed right here, so that's a 2. 9 in column 7, as Ambrose says right there. It's okay. It's okay. I think I do that on Zeta's stream more than I like to admit. That's a 9 down there. 2 in box 7, we're saying is placeable because this can't be a 2 because that would be a 1, and there's already a 1 in the box. So that's going to be a 2. Like that was important for some reason. The 2 in one of these two, but that can't be a 1, so that is a 2. I really like these 2-cell thermos and how they're really just ruling out the 2s. That's a very cute use of a 2-cell thermo, I'd say. Because it's like the lowest sort of thing that you could do with it. Simplest case. So I think we need to look at column 7. Because that can't be an 8. And neither can these two, so that needs to be an 8. Then what are we going to do with column 7? We have 3, 4, not 5, 6, and 7. So that has to be a 7. That has to be a 6, and that's either a 3 or 4. This is going to be an 8. This is 3, 4, and 5. I don't know if I'd say I see everything immediately, but 6 and 7 placeable in here? Well, I would hope so. Yeah. I see some things immediately, and some things escape my gaze for a long period of time when they should be immediate. Yeah, Naverio is quite quick. Naverio doesn't need to say that you can help because you can't. I don't know why I suddenly went silent, but I filled in that row silently. That's apparently a naked single. I think it's a 3. Yeah, it's a 3. It sees every digit other than 3. And I was gonna say we can look at 3s, but 3s are very not full. 7 in this box is in one of those 2 cells. Again, not super useful. Maybe this column needs a 5, and the 5 can't be in those 3 cells, so that's a 5. Or sorry, 6 in row 7. I don't know why I keep saying column. That's a 6. So in row 7, we need a 5 and a 4. Oh, but this 6 gets rid of the 6 up there, which I've been waiting to get rid of for forever. I don't know why, but I really didn't want that 6 to be there. 4, 5, and something 8. So that's obviously going to be an 8 there. 8's down here. That's a 4 now. That's a 5. That's an 8. That's a 7. 8 and something. 8's place for sure. That's not a 5. That's a 3. Look kind of similar anyway. You ignore half the number. Box 8 is down to pairs. Well, this is a 4, 5, as we noted before, which isn't resolved, but this 4, 5, and 7 is resolved because it's 7. That's a 7, and that's a 4, 5. This is 3, 4, 5, but the 5 is ruled out of both cells, but we know this cell now is a 6, not a 7. 7 in box 8 was placed. 7 in box 7 is placed now. This is a 4, which is going to resolve everything. 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3. Wow, I really like that opening. That was an incredible opening. It's actually quite simple when you think about it, because these two cells, if either of them go on this thermo, then these have to be lower than them. So they can't go on this thermo at all. So we know immediately that in this set of cells, since one of them has to go on the thermo, then we know that two of these cells, these two cells in particular, have to be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it just falls out like butter that it has to be a 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice. It's really nice. What an interesting puzzle. Thank you for reminding me about that, Super Rabbit. Let's finish off the set of thermo puzzles and do T-Rexes. When will I stop saying T-Rexes and say the Super Rabbit, the T-Rex? Yes, and then the box for to disambiguate which of these was 8 and which of them was 5. Yeah, it was just a really nice puzzle. There was a lot of nice interactions. Without spotting that trick, like, there's just almost nothing you can do, which is the mark of a very nice puzzle. All right. Let's take a look at T-Rex's puzzle, and then we will see how many more puzzles I have in me. I'm guessing not very many, but I'll maybe leave the classics to Timberlake to solve and just solve Tyrgannus's, because I think Timberlake said he would solve the ones that we didn't solve. So I might just throw it off to the Smart Hobbies channel instead, even though I would like to solve them, but if we don't have time, that's what we'll do. Okay, so let's restart the clock on the T-Rex. I have to like make myself say the T-Rex every time. I just want to say T-Rex, and I don't know why. It's just, yeah, it's ingrained in me. Anyways, T. Yes, we should say T. All right, let's take a look at this one. We have 2s and 8s in lots of places, which is quite interesting for all of these thermos. Theater-X, that's or like theaterex. Okay, moving on. Okay, so 2 and 8 are sort of looking at this thermo. So I guess that does, let's just good lift it. I'm tired of the thermos. Let's just good lift them. Oh, 7. Not 2 there, sorry. Not 3 there. What is wrong with me? So there's no 8, there's no 8, there's no 7, there's no 2, there's no 4, there's no 2. So that one can't be a 6, because that would have to be 6 and 6. That one can't be a 5, because that would need to be 5 and 5. That can't be a 4. That can't be a 3. That can't be a 4 or a 5. That can't be a 5 or a 6. And no 4 in the last cell. Oh, this cell. I think that's right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Or 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, those both seem reasonable. So I'm sure that was hilarious to watch. Because I did that in the most inefficient manner possible. Okay, let's look at where this cell goes in this box, because it doesn't go on its own thermo, and it doesn't go in its row, in its column. So it goes in one of these three. Less useful than I was expecting. 2 in this row is in there. 8 in this row is in there. 9 is restricted in column 6. Yes, of course. 9 in column 6 will have to be in one of those two cells. 1 will have to be in one of those two cells. 3 is limited in box 1. That's interesting. 3 not go... Oh, I didn't see this 3. Visible. 3 is in one of these 3 cells. Oh, this can be 3, 2, 1. I was thinking this 2 saw that cell for some unknown reason. The 1 in here... 2 in column 4. 2 in column 4... Right, is in one of these 2 cells, which forces 1 onto one of these 2 cells. We have sort of a nice little... If you watch the... What's it called? Prove no, there's no solutions video with rockratzero called Lost My M&Ms or something like that. There was something nice like this. You should check that one out. It was very nice. Anyways, we can do the same with 8s in here, which I think is the purpose. And I'm coloring these so I don't use these as normal pencil marks. So this 9 removes a 7 from here, which gives us a 6 and a 5, and no 5 there. This 1 removes a 1 from here, which gives us a 3 and a 4, which of course removes this 3, and since this can't be a 1 from this, that means that this can't be 1, 2, 3, and that can't be a 3, so that's a 3. All very beautiful. Beautiful logic. I like that a lot. So there's no 3 there, there's no 3 there. There's a 3 in here. That was less exciting than I thought it would be. Maybe we could do something similar with... No, we can't do something similar with 7 because 7 is not equal to 3. But we can say that 4 is over here, which is quite interesting. Or is it? It's not actually that interesting. You can go in any of those cells. That's totally fine. Okay, maybe no. What do we need? 3, 7, 1, and 9. Box 1 thermo is now restricted. Probably. You're probably right. That's good Liffit. Okay, so we'll start with both of these. Or no, we're not, because this is very differently restricted. So this can be this is a 5 length thermo, so 4 or 5. Oh, this is really restricted. 5 or 6, 6 or 7, 7 or 8, 8 or 9, but this cannot be 7. So that's an 8, that's a 9, that's not an 8, that's an 8. That's not an 8, so that's an 8, that's a 9. I just deleted a 4 by accident. Very nice stuff. Very nice indeed. That's good. This, though, maybe we can restrict that more, because this now sees 8 and 9 and 7, so that can only be 6 or 5, so we can probably do the exact same thing in the reverse. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So that's a 2, that's a 1, and now that's not a 2. So this is a 2 and this is a 1. Very nice theme to this one. I like the symmetric logic, but it's like sort of opposite. Very, very cute. Okay, so those are not ones. One of those two. Put the 2 in here. The 2 go in any of those. Oh, no, it can't. The 2 is in one of these two cells, which means that this is either 1 or 2. I have cat hair on my nose or something. One's over here, one's here. So there's a 1 in one of these two cells, but apparently that's a 1. That's a 1. Yeah, I like the bouncing around. That's the kind of puzzle I like. A bunch of bouncing around. So what about this row? This row needs 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's only 3 places. What am I doing? That's not a 7. That's not a 5. So this looks quite interesting. 6, 7. But this can't be 8, 9 because there's already an 8 in the box. So this needs to be 7, 9, 6, 5. So let's look at this one. 4, 5, 6, and 9. That's not a 9. That's not a 9. That's not a 9. So that is a 9, which is similar to this one. That's definitely not a 6. So, and we can't put a 4 there. This needs to be 3 or 4. Yeah, 3 or 4. So this needs to be 1 or 2, but it can't be 2. Oh no, it could be 3, but it can't be 3. So it is a 1. That's a 1, that's a 2. That's not a 2. There's a 3 in here, so that's a 4, 5, 6. 5, 4, 3. Very, very smooth puzzle. Like really, really smooth. Still a 3 in here, but that's a 3, so that's a 3, and that's a 5. Thermals with no values are restricted. Yeah. 9 in here is placed. 8 in here, I think, has to go there because that can't be an 8. Now we have 6 and 5, I want to say, so that's going to be placed like that. So what about here? We need 4 and 2. That's placed like that. Down here we need 7, 8, and 6. 6 is definitely in one of those two. And 8 is also in one of those two, so that is a 7. So now this is only 1, 3. This is only 9, 3. Oh, but it can't be 3. So that's a 9. That's not a 9. That's a 3, 7. Oh, wait, that's just a 7. This is a 1, 3 pair. How did I miss this 3 twice? 6, 8, and 3. 5, 7 pair in column 7. I think we got that a while ago. Oh, column 7. Oh, we already did that. That, how did we remove 6 from the, oh, we didn't. Okay, so that's not an 8, that's not a 3. So this isn't resolved yet. 7, 9 pair in column 6. Done. In the worst way possible. Okay, so there's no 3 here, obviously. Down here we need 9s. They're placed. We need 4s. And we need 5s, which are placed. So then over here, we're going to need, well, this is a given, because this is a triple, like Andrew says. I have the hiccups or something. What a great time. So that's going to be a 7. So this is the last digit in this box. It's a 2. We place 9 1 and 6 in here, so the 6 goes in for sure. Then the 9 places the 9 there. That's a 1, that's a 3, that's a 1. That's a 4. That is something. 1. I started counting 1, and I was not right. Apparently, don't count 1 when you don't have a 1. The 9 is placed here by these 9s. 3 is not placed, but the 5 is placed. 5. That gives us the 8, the 6, the 8, 6, the 3. Should finish off our puzzle. 1, 8. As you can see, I should not go to the World Puzzle Championship because I am terrible. Terribly slow. Not with the deductions, but with the scanning. I just like to take my time, you know. All right. 13 minutes, not so bad after all. Simultaneity. I think 10 minutes of those was the scanning at the end, but everything else was super smooth. It always feels a lot longer when you're doing it on camera as well, for some reason. That's true. Mark and Simon fan buttons in the Grand Prix. Yeah, I also had the marked candidates on, so or the red candidates on. So I guess maybe I was even worse at scanning than that. I find it doesn't really change my scanning that much because I tend not to fill in a bunch of digits, but or not fill in a bunch of digits, but fill in a bunch of pencil marks in places that I don't need to. But yeah, whenever you lie still, it feels like forever. But then you're like, oh, it was 5 minutes. Oh, maybe I didn't need to rush through everything. But very nice puzzle to your access. Access. Key. Key. Oh, you're way behind? Yeah, maybe refresh your pages after the break. Okay, so we will move on to Tyrgannus's speed setting puzzle, and we'll leave the classics for the classic lovers. So let's see here. Tyrgannus, we will solve this puzzle now. So 6. I know that. This is an irregular, so we have to fill the digits that are in the grid into each region. It's a mean mini, so it could be any digit from 1 to 9. Yeah, it's a 7 by 7 puzzle, but we need to use 7 digits, but they could be any digit from 1 to 9. The cages must sum to the total in the top left-hand corner, and they cannot repeat digits. First 7 by 7 you ever seen? Tyrgannus loves setting 7 by 7 because irregular. You can't, there's no regular 7 by 7 grid, so 6 is obviously 1, 2, 3, so and 12 needs 1 and 2, because if you don't include 1 and 2, you're going to have a minimum of 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1, which is 13. Yeah, duh. And then this 15 is very different from what it was before. And we also have a scattered region. So these cells right here create a scattered region in the grid. And you might notice, as we did, me and Joby, when we were solving this before, that these, yeah, That's actually why a 4 cell 1 cage is so like on fleek, because I'm gonna have to change it. I'm sorry, Jim. It won't stay colored, but you'll see why in just a second. It doesn't really matter that much. But 1 and 2 in a 4 cell cage is like so on fleek because it's a 1, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, so since this is a 25 cage, well, since it's a cage, and they saying, wait, what do we? What? How do we do this again? Okay, so let's start with our scattered region. There's some set thing here. I don't remember it that well, apparently. We have our scattered region. First 3 rows. Right. Big duh. Okay, so the first 3 rows, law of leftovers. Simple as that. So, law of leftovers says that these 3 cells are equal to these 3 cells. Yeah, that's true. Don't use the secret because it's a meme mini. So we're not using the digits 1 to 7. We could use other digits. So let's look at this. So, oh, ball. Thought you were laughing at me. So these 2 digits are equal to these 3 digits, which means that these cells create a hidden region in the grid. So we're going to highlight these cells and these cells as hidden killer cages. Essentially, these cannot repeat a digit. This set of digits must be a distinct set of digits. It's the hidden region. This set of digits must be a hidden region. So we can use that. Think about, I want to say this digit. No, it's this digit. Where does this digit go in this region, in this hidden region? Well, obviously, it doesn't go in its own row. This digit must appear in one of those 3 cells. So let's mark it A, lowercase a, and lowercase a goes in one of those 3 cells. But in this box, lowercase a does not go in those cells. I thought I had something better than this. Ah, right, this is not a, because it's in the 15 cage. Thank you. So then this and this combine to get rid of all those cells and this cell because it's in the 15 cage. So that is now A. So we're going to do central marks for where we know this digit is. That's A. One of those 2 cells is A, but now we know that those cells are not A. That cell is not A, so one of those 2 cells is A. That one's not A because it's 15 or the 25 cage, so that's A. Now A in this one is here because of this one and this one. So then this A is now placed over here. And we can also, I think, place it in this box as well. Yep. And we can place it here as well. And we can do the exact same thing with B. So B does not go here. It does not go in the 12 cage. We know that B is in one of these two cells in this extra region. So we know that B in here does not go in any of those cells. So therefore, this is B. And we know that B is now 1, 2, or 3. And we can place B around the grid similar to A. B cannot go there. B cannot go there. B can't go in the 17 cage. So that's a B. Those are not B's. So B is in one of these two cells. That's a B. But this B, say, is that cell. So that's a B. B or not to be? That is the question. That's a B. So that's a B. Ah, that's a B. Don't sing me, B. Wow, that was a really bad joke. I debated whether saying that or not, and I probably shouldn't. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so in a 20 cage, in a not have 1 or 2. So this, the value of A is at least a 3. Why can A not be 3? That not work with 8 and 9 in the 20 cage? Ah, it sees the entirety of the 6 gauge. Thank you. That is much easier to see. So A is minimum 4. So what about this 15 cage? What is A maximum? So if A was a 9, let's say, then these 3 cells would have to add to 6. But none of those cells are B, and we know B is 1, 2, or 3. And if these add to 6, they're 1, 2, and 3, and then B would have no value. So A cannot be 9. A is from 8 to 4. Wondering, does this 9, if this 9 doesn't have this value in it, then we know that it's a 4, 5. But if we have 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, that's already 5 digits. Maximum digit in a 17 cage is a 7. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is a 7, yeah. Because the minimum of 5 cells is 15. So then the maximum digit that could go in a 17 cage is a 7. So we're down to 4 to 7. Oh, wait. No. I was going to say if the 9 cage was a 4 or 5, then A couldn't be 4 or 5. Wouldn't work, but of course that does work. Why that wouldn't work? The 17 cage needs a 1 and a 2, right? but does it need a 3? If a 17 cage doesn't have a 3, it doesn't work. So it needs a 3. We need 1, 2, and 3. But none of those values can be A. So the 1, 2, and 3 go in here. We're very close to a 1, 2, 3 triple here. I guess B is 1, 2, 3. So that in. Forever. Put in A's value in one of the cells. But I don't think we need that in all the cells. So in a 17 cage, you have 1, 2, 3. So you either have 4, 7 or 5, 6. Since A is not 1, 2, or 3, A will be the counterpart to another digit in here. Be either the 4 and 7 or the 5 and 6. So feels close to something, but not quite there. "15 cage needs 2 of 1, 2, 3. Does it? Really? If 15 does not have 2 of 1, 2, or 3, then it would only have 1 of them. So it would need 4, 5, 6, and 1, which would be 16, right? 4, 5, and 6 out of 15 already. So then we know that in here, in row 3, we have 2 of 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and 3. That's plus this one, so all these 3 cells cannot be 1, 2, or 3. Leave that for a little bit. Where do 1, 2, and 3 go in the top left region? In here, I suppose, but it can't go here, so they all go in here. But 2 of them can't go in there, so this has to be a 1, 2, 3. One of these is a 1, 2, 3, and the other one is a 5, 6, or 7. And these are not 1, 2. I need to color like 8 things in this puzzle. This can't be a 1, 2, or 3, because if this was a 3, this would need to be an 8, 9. This is also not 1, 2, or 3. So where do 1, 2, and 3 go in this region? They can't go in the A value. They can't go here, so this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. That's a 1, 2, 3 triple. This, I guess, can do that. We're just gonna good lift the whole board, I guess. 1, 2, 3 in the blue region it's already got it. So then we can't have 1, 2, or 3 in here. So this has to be the last 1, 2, 3 in the 17. Nice, nice, nice. So this needs to be, these both need to be 4, 5, 6, and 7. A is not 9. A is only 4, 5, 6, and 7 from the 17 cage. We know that. We're just gonna good lift this. So where does 1, 2, 3 go in this cage? Or where does 1, 2, 3 go in this? Oh, 1, 2, 3 is forced in this red region into here. That can't be a 1, 2, or 3. that can't be a 1, 2, or 3 because there's already a 1, 2, 3 triple in the column. So this is the 1, 2, 3 in this row. Do you have any triples here? No, not quite. Column 2 as well. Yeah, we have that. Yeah, we should, now that we have most of the extra region logic, we can maybe change the coloring to be more useful for us. So let's color light gray as not 1, 2, 3s. And then we can clean up our pencil marks. Okay, now let's clean up our pencil marks. So anywhere we see, what is that, 6 pencil marks in the cell, we'll get rid of that. Can't have 3, 1, 2, 3s. Right, there's only one. Oh, this is a 1, 2. Because D is a 1, 2, because there's only one more 1, 2 in this row. That cell particularly is not 1, 2. And even further than that, I think Kurt or Carl might be right that this is 1, 2, 4, 5, right? Because there's no other way to make it. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, you're totally right. Oof, still going? No, we're still going because it's good. Good puzzle. Good puzzles today. In this extra region, we already have our... Oh, wait, we already know that. We can limit the value of b, right? B is only 1 or 2. So where does 3 go in this row? 3 is right there. Well, you didn't miss that much. We didn't do the Maverick puzzle that long ago. That's a 1. That's a 1, 2. Because there's a 3 in the region, so that must be a 3. Now... Now this can't have a 1, 2 in it, so it's a 4, 5. So A is not 4, 5. So this must be 4, 5. Oh wait, we already knew A was not 4, 5 from this. See? Got too excited. Oh, there's already... So there's another digit here. Let's label this as D. We can't use C because that changes the Sudoku mode. Because this is the other digit. Where does D go in here? I guess in one of these two cells, but not sure. The gray is code for not 1, 2, or 3. Oh, row 5, column 2. No, row 5, column 2 is there. So this is D. 3 places the 8 in the cage. What? 3 in row 6, column 2. Okay, yeah. So this region needs a 3 in it, which will be in one of these two cells. So that's not a 3, right? So that is a 3, which means that that's not a 3. So there is a 3 in the 8 cage. It's a 3, 5. So there's, in one of these two cells, we have a 4, and in the other one, we have a D. We have a 4D pair. we've entered the fourth dimension. Um, okay, so 6. We have a 5D triple here. 6 column 1 is 3 by the 1-2 pair. What 1-2 pair? 1-2-3. Oh, the 1-2 pair in this? Yeah, that's true. That is a 3. This is the 3. This is a 3 now. For some reason, I was thinking this was row 6 column 1. Sorry. You're right. You've caught me. The 4-5, of course. This is a 4-5D triple again. Oh, this is D. This is D. So this has to be a 4. Means that's not a 4. This is either 5 or D. But that's a D. So that is a 5. So that's a 4. That's a D. That's a 4. That's a D. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 5. That's a 5. And place D's as normal digits until we figure out what the heck it is. That is a D, I think. One of these, that's a 5, so that's a 4, that's a 5. That's a 4 now. So this is the 1, that's a 3 now. Right. So that 3 places the 5 and the 3 up here. I know you're probably all screaming at me. So there's a 4 in here for this terrible notation. I'm amazed at keeping track of all this. 1-2 pair here, so that's a 4. That's not a 4. So I think all we have to do is work out the values of A, B, and D. Wait, how do we know B versus... Oh, this one. So D we can find by looking at chat. 20 cage. Look at the 20 cage. And then we can deduce that that's a 4, so this has to be a 7, 9, of course. So this has to be 7, and this has to be 9. So we can change all the A's to 7s. And all the D's to 9s. And then we can look at this and say 10 plus another 13 is 23. That must be a 2, so B is equal to 2, just like chat said. And then that will be 1. And it looks like clear the surface, maybe? No answer check, but there is, it says answer check enabled. I don't know. It didn't work for some reason, but I I think that's the solution. There's always a little bit of ambiguity when there's no answer check. I didn't like forget a D or something, did I? Okay, I think I'm good. That was a really good puzzle as well. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't beget anyone for sending that to CGC. It's really whack. Like, what a weird puzzle. Especially that hidden set. Like, there's a hidden there's a scattered region which leads to a hidden set, which gets you into coloring, which leads to it's just it's just a ridiculous puzzle. Yeah, it's crazy. We've done so many puzzles today that were just absolutely insane. Like really innovative stuff. Yeah, definitely. Mark would definitely find those regions immediately. I would feel so bad if Simon stared at the grid for like an hour before he found the extra region though, and he would probably solve it before he found the extra region just because, and it would probably all make sense and would be better solved than mine. All right, we did that in 25 minutes, so not too bad, not too bad. Uh, Stop. There we go. All right, I think that brings us to what is that? Like 2.5 hours, I want to say 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. Oh, okay, we've been doing this for 3.5 hours. That is me out. Can't handle another Sudoku. But I really enjoyed this. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out and having lots of fun. I mean, I had lots of fun solving all these puzzles. And as I said, we had some crazy good puzzles today. So, it's always good to have a solving stream when there's crazy good puzzles. So, yeah, time passed so fast. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream if you haven't, and like and subscribe if you haven't, and go check out Timberlake's YouTube channel, Smart Hobbies, and the previous stuff like the setter spotlight announcement, and the puzzle creation video, and the previous speed setting competitions and all that. Check out those, and yeah, have a good rest of your day. Cheers. Bye.